Aziz, light. If you're an INFP and your only way of dealing with intense emotions is to go numb or to shut down, then you are ingesting kryptonite and destroying your superpowers. You having an abundance of emotions is not a problem. And I know many clients come to me and feel that they don't like their squishy side, they don't like the emotional side of themselves, and I've felt it too. But in reality, it is a sign that something is important to you. And as INFPs, we need to lean into our convictions and what is important to us and taking actions that work with those things. So instead of trying to shut down your emotions and become a robot, like I did for many, many years, it's important to actually listen to those emotions and have curiosity for them. And in times where they are overwhelming and you need to be more resourceful or you need to take different actions or regain control of your state, then there are ways of doing that too. So I'm going to give you two different methods of dealing with this. One is kind of more of a long-term plan so that you work with your emotions, you build awareness of them, and you have more of an ability to appreciate the ones that are coming up and kind of regain control over your state holistically. And the other method is for those moments where sirens are going off, you're really frustrated, and you just need to do something differently. And they come from the same origin point. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Mind Wizardry spell process. And there's a course for it, and you can get it in Evolve as well. And I'll run you through it right now. So to actually process the emotion, we want to first sense it. We want to locate it within our body. And you must be feeling it in order to actually experience the emotion, right? If you say, I can't feel it, then, and it's somewhere out there, then there's a disconnect, a dissociation. And so we need to go inside our body. If you're feeling angry, for example, or bitter, or you have a grudge against someone for something, or you feel triggered about something. Okay, first know that that is a sign that something is important to you, that has triggered something within you, and it's giving you the opportunity to solve that, to understand it better. Okay, so sense it in your body, point to where you feel it, and ask your unconscious mind, what color is it? What texture is it? What's the size of it? Is it a solid border around it? Is it more amorphous? What direction is it moving? In order for you to feel it, it has to be moving. So what direction is it moving? It might be pulsing, it might be swirling. And once you have this deeper sense of it, then we can imagine that you shrink down smaller and smaller, and you go inside of that emotion there. And with curiosity and appreciation, just allow yourself to be in that emotion, in that sensed state, whatever that thing is. If it's a fiery red object that's in your heart, okay, imagine that you shrink down and you go inside of it. And again, with curiosity and appreciation, just be in there for 90 seconds. And biologically, an emotional wave, this emotional sensation, is only going to last 90 seconds. The reason why it keeps going is because we keep adding kindle to it. We keep stoking the flames, adding more fuel to it. But when you allow yourself to just be in that emotion and look around and say, I see you, I'm here, just allow yourself to be in that, then it is going to dissipate. And you will probably almost all the time get some insight into why it's actually there, what the purpose of it is. And you can even have a conversation with it if that's what you want to do. I do parts work all the time where I'm asking this part of myself that wants to procrastinate right now, what is it that you're trying to do for me? What's your job? What's your goal here? And have that conversation. That's perfectly fine to do as well. So you can just be in it and have awareness of it, or you can have a conversation with that part. And this will help you stop fighting it. It helps you build that muscle of having awareness of the sensation as opposed to numbing yourself and running from it. And it helps you just create a different holistic relationship with your parts inside yourself. Now, there's also the in the moment fix, because you might be like, well, right now I'm just really pissed off and I don't like where I'm at right now. And I just feel like yelling and strangling somebody. And I don't like this. So, what else can you do? Well, if you need that immediate control, instead of sensing it and going inside of it and appreciating it and having curiosity and wonder for it, you can sense it and then you can take it out. You can change your modality, your representation of it from feeling to visual, put it in front of you. What is it like? Okay. Sense it and then play with it. Make it bigger, make it smaller, change the direction that it's rotating, change the consistency of it, put a little happy face on it or something like that. Play around with it until you feel better. And you can do this instantly once you learn how to do it, once you practice it. Now, if somebody's upsetting you right now and you're like, I don't like this, and you're going like that, it's going to be a bit strange. But once you've done it a couple times, you'll probably learn quickly that you can just do it in your mind, or you can just go like this and move it to the side, and it's a lot more covert. So, or you can go to the bathroom, lock yourself in the bathroom, and play with yourself. So take it out, play around with it, make it different sizes, different shapes, put it in different locations, see which one makes you feel better. And once you've found the one that makes you feel better, then adjust it even more, amplify that. If changing the color to a sky blue color and making it like a cotton fluffy sensation helped, then do more of that. Maybe adding some more colors, maybe adding a little bit of sparkle or something like that. Maybe noticing the maybe a little sound that it makes when you squish it and play around. Okay, so amplify that, energize that. And then you're going to want to, when it's feeling really good, put it back to where it needs to go. Likely it's the same place because your system abhors a void. It doesn't like not having something in there. So fill it with something good. Okay, so put it back in. And then imagine locking it in, sealing it in, installing it, whatever works for you to make it a permanent, lasting change. And once you know that that's true, try to take it out, try to bring back that old feeling or try to get rid of the new one. And I say try because try is a very intentional word for us. If you know what it means, if you have a pen and I say, pick up the pen, if you got one right now, go ahead, pick it up and try to drop the pen. Try to drop it. Really try. You can't do it. I'm going to try to drop it. Now, if you actually dropped it, then you weren't listening. Try implies failure. Try to open the door. You're like tugging against the handle. You can't do it. It implies that you cannot do it. I'll try to go. I'll try to see if this works for me. I'll try to study tonight. Those are all implying that you're not going to do it. So be intentional with your words and use it for you. Try to take it out. Try to change it. Try to revert it back to the old sensation that you didn't like, that is not there anymore. Try to turn off the new one. Give yourself that confirmation that you've actually regained control over your mental and emotional state. And just imagine going out into that sensation or that experience, rather, that normally would have triggered whatever negative emotion, and notice that it's different. How would you approach it as opposed to a red, fiery coal when things are a sky blue, soft cotton sensation? It would be different. How would you imagine approaching the experience with a different set of resources? Happily. So, as a recap, the first one is to sense it and go inside and just experience it with curiosity and appreciation. Do that as a habit, as a recap for your day. The other one is to sense it, to take it out, to play with it. S, sense, P, play. Play with it, change it, make it better. E, energize. Okay, make it even more of the good thing. L, lock it in, put it back into wherever it needs to be and lock it in. And then the second L is to live into a new experience, a new context, or some other moment in time that normally would have triggered the old negative sensation and feel the new one there. So you're redirecting your future experiences, and you can do it with your past ones too. So you don't need to become this unfeeling robot in order to be stable or in order to be a good person. Just be you, be an INFP. And as an INFP, you have the ability and the desire and the bandwidth to go into these emotional spaces and to play around with them with imagination. And that is one of our superpowers. And know that awareness of these emotions gives you direction. It tells you which way you could be or should be moving in your life and how you should be reacting. And that ultimately gives you more control over your life. And if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you can click the links below, go to mindwizardry.geekpsychology.com or go to evolve.geekpsychology.com. Good luck, have fun. Peace.